Before we do talk a bit about resilience of Tibetan people and democracy, I wanted to focus on some of the critical issues that Tibetans are facing, and the first one is the separation and removal of 1 million Tibetan children from their families and placed in boarding schools. Now, this sounds very similar to what we have experienced here in Australia with Stolen Generations, which was the forced removal of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander children from their families and communities. This is something that's still, sadly, it's still happening today. Can you tell us a bit more about that and how these children are being impacted?
The Chinese government started imposing this around 2012, 2013 in the city areas, in the town areas. But then the Tibetans resisted that movement, and slowly they went into the rural areas. And this, even now they claim that rural area is so dispersed that it's very necessary to have boarding schools, which is not necessarily the case. So from the rural areas, they started putting in all these children into the townships and cities, and then start boarding schools and take them away from their families. And according to independent researchers and also the UN Special Rapporteur's report on this, about 1 million children between the age of 6 to 18 are now in boarding schools, or colonial style boarding schools. And we also did some research on the children below the age of 6. So between the age of 3 to 6, also several years back, it was only a few thousand children in boarding schools. Now it has gone up to 150,000 Tibetans from a very young age are being brainwashed, taught Chinese version of history, communist ideology, respect to the communist Chinese beliefs and thinkings. And that is, in a way, completely cynicizing the Tibetans. Tibetans are resisting, but then their resistance is always met with strict orders from the government. And if you don't follow that, then again, you end up in problem, in jails, or you get incarcerated if you express your feelings even regarding this. So this is one of the most challenging things that we face right now. And we request the international community to raise this issue with the Chinese government, make sure that what happened with the natives in America, what happened with First Nations, what happened with Aboriginals here, and what happened to other indigenous people does not happen in Tibet. This needs to be stopped now to make sure that the Tibetan identity is preserved and promoted.